In the last video, we were backtracking around the west of Tierra del Fuego to rejoin the Straits of Magellan. We've completed our southward trip down the east coast of South America and are now starting our trip north up the west coast of South America. Overnight, we found that our mystery destination on the way to our next port, Puerto Montt, is to be the Pio 11th Glacier, also known as the Bruggen Glacier, which I'm going to call it that from now. I'm excited about this as it's one of the biggest and most notable glaciers in Patagonia. It flows down from the Patagonian Ice Cap, but the terminus is technically over 100 kilometres from the sea. Due to the landscape in the area, the ship can be parked at the base of the mountains where the glacier flows down and blocks the fjord. As the day starts, we find ourselves where the Beagle Channel meets the Straits of Magellan. It's over 1,000 kilometres from Ushuaia to the Bruggen Glacier, so we'll be spending the day traversing the fjords. You cannot imagine how happy I am over that. The scenery is likely to be outstanding, and it means we don't have to brave the seas outside the fjords, which the weather maps say is not pleasant at the moment. Just got back into the Strait of Magellan. It's a beautiful snowy range of mountains. While we were at breakfast, tried to get some pictures on the phone. Hopefully they come out okay. So I think we'll be heading through here to the other side of the Strait of Magellan, out to sea and then up the coast of it, and then popping back into another channel to take us up to the glacier and Puerto Montt in a couple of days. Just doing the turn now to come out of the Beagle Channel and turn into the Strait of Magellan. I think that ship up there is heading back towards Punta Arenas. We're chucking a leftie here and heading out towards the Pacific Ocean. One of the interesting things about sailing through a channel like this is as you travel down the channel, you see the mountains from different angles and different aspects. They change all the time as they go past. The many waterfalls along here. There's certainly really big ones, but the amount of water running off
off the snow melt. Small fishing boat out here in the channel. This is the first ship I've seen for ages. There seems to be a ship of some kind trailing. It's about 10 kilometres about. Of the surroundings, this is a major shipping channel, and you see markers like this every now and then on the islands to let you know that you're on the right track, I suppose. Heavy currents coming through here. Big birds of prey here above this island. I wonder if they're condors. Just as a positional reference, this is Carlos III. Carlos III Island we're going past now. Some whales or dolphins or something down there. Showing particularly much. There's something definitely there. Seals? There's seals by the looks of it. Not the kind of thing you expect to see out here. Building. Don't know what it is. Ranger station. Don't know. Focus. Coming up to, well, I think we're coming up to the main spine of the mountains now. This is sort of like a southern extension of the Andes. They plunge off into the Southern Ocean. I knew I had a silly hat on, but I didn't realise my eyes were so like puffy and red. It's effing cold, but I wouldn't miss this for quits. At Glacier tomorrow, so early in the morning, up, freezing, do it all again.
The rain sets in, so it's time to go inside for some coffee and cake.
Conducive to standing outside doing photography. I'm hoping the camera focuses on that, but that's a wreck from the 1960s, and that's what happens if you do not get your navigation right through these channels. Hopefully left the rain behind us down there for a while. It's sort of funny if you look at Google Earth. You can follow the spine of the Andes down from north to south, and we're just about to cross sort of the southern section on it, so in a way we're crossing the Andes by ship. And the stream running in there, all lunched up and warmed up to a degree, and back out here to freeze to death again.
Eventually we run out of luck with the weather and also daylight and slink back to our cabin to await dinner. Angela's scampering around in her usual fashion. Overnight we'll be missing more fjordland for our arrival at the glacier early in the morning.
Cruising up towards the glacier. There's even more water pouring down the sides of the fjord. It's quite a big ice cap up above this range that feeds the glacier up ahead. Sorry, try not to squeeze out another guy with a camera that doesn't have a long lens. I've got little waterfalls and everything along here. It's even more startling than before. Autofocus is having a hard time in the low light. Wondering what this white thing here was, and it's another massive cascade down the side of the mountain. It's starting to see bits of ice floating by from the nose of the glacier now. Not far away. Sheer amount of water cascading down that mountainside. This is a waterfall where it runs into the sea there.
After about 40 minutes, the Bruggen Glacier comes into sight. It's freezing cold out on the deck, but someone has to make these videos.
The abyss. This will be the narrowest point of our journey later on in the early hours of the afternoon.
I hope that radar's off. The nose of the glacier there. It's not a massively tall one, but bearing in mind I'm a beginner with glaciers, it's good enough for me.
It's hard to judge the scale of the glacier from these videos. This is an image from Google Maps showing the glacier with a ship parked in front of it. It's a smaller ship than the Ushuaia, but the glacier nose is still about 4.5 kilometres across.
I'm doing all sorts of amazing contortions here to try and hold the camera steady in the wind. So evidently the feed of this glacier that goes off to the right, if it's going to zoom in, it goes off to the right, sort of up there where I'm trying to zoom in on, goes 60 kilometres up into the mountains. I think I said earlier there's quite a big ice cap up there to our right. It's a beautiful blue colour in the interior. It looks to be coming out sort of a bit on the camera. All the brown sort of till, the dust and rocks and everything picked up. I'm just wondering if those rocks there are suspended in the ice, or whether they have been, whether it's grounded on this side of the valley. Yep, here I was fiddling around again. Oh,
It's like Niagara Falls. That's what it is.
Now, for those of you on the bow, did you hear any crashing or anything like that? Raise your hand. Yes, we did.
No, never
I
saw
was
it.
fiddling around with my pocket when that one fell in. As the ship swings around, we get all these different perspectives on the face of the glacier. Just noticed the meltwater flowing out from under the glacier here.
Section between Cerro Magellan, right close to us, and mountainous further north, is one of those areas in Chile and Argentina border that is still up for debate, let's say.
A few tons of clear ice breaks off from under the water and rises to the surface.
Right in front of you, you've got steels, blues, the black ice, and the slushy closer to the bow of the ship. You get to see these incredible mountains. Ladies and gentlemen, right on the bow, if you look right straight out on the bow, we've got a little bit of housing happening.
It doesn't happen much.
Yes, we heard it.
Also, just another little fun fact.
Silly hat thing again. Excuse me, he keeps firing up the bow thruster, and I think it's the glacier doing something.
A piece of ice floating by here, and it's almost completely clear.
Those are types of glacial cycles. Now, not all of them have
Dark colour of that ice.
No, don't jump. No, there's like when the glacier was like the pile of dirt at the.
and they'll know what today looks like thousands of years into the future. Opposite of the glacier, we are going to head out of the Eider Fjord. So we've got 20 miles to the opening of Eider Fjord, where we will rejoin Icy Channel, and then we will take a starboard turn into Bruggen Channel and start our next part of our scenic cruising, sailing around Isla Salmares. So we still have quite a packed day.
Another waterfall shows is just a cloud of spray. Glacier departing astern as we have a morning tea. Some living creature of some kind out there, dolphins, sea lions. They're on the surface for such a short time that it can be hard to tell what they are. They're heading straight towards the ship here.
I'm going to go see if there's
Okay. Angela trying to get a cup of tea, but there's no hot water. And sort of warmish in here, and all the ice floating by out there.
So evidently the plan is to return down this channel where the glacier was, and then we're turning into another one of the myriad of channels and going up there for a way, blah blah blah. I suppose we'll eventually have to wind up in the Pacific Ocean to do the skip round to Puerto Montt. So I thought we might do, we turned off into one of the sort of side channels, and we're heading up. We should go past Port Eden in a few hours. 15 Just ventured out without the full freezing weather here. I think this is Trinidad Channel or something. But a bit further down here, it's probably 50 kilometres or so down, this town called Port Eden that we should go past. Very, very beautiful. Coming up to one of the narrow parts of this particular channel. We've turned down so many channels now I've got lost. I thought we were going past Port Eden, but we're not. We're coming up to the narrowest part of this channel now. I guess we'll fit.
Don't slow down right now.
Keep them on, babe.
Freeze to death again.
Those that freeze together.
You going that way or that way?
Those of us that freeze together stay together.
Yeah, stuck together. Yeah, I forgot. I was talking about sort of big ice cap of the glacier there, but yeah, that's the Patagonian Ice Cap. Okay, so we've had enough of the calm water. Looping back around to get into the main channel. This sort of 2-hour diversion has been beautiful. But out into the open Pacific, where the swells this evening should be 6 metres. Yeah, that's going to be fun. We'll see how we go. So far, even with the fairly big swells, the ride's been good, but I think with that we're going to know it. So we've just come through the narrow channel on the left there. We're going to loop around and I think head out into the open sea, which should take us still a couple of hours.
Sunset tonight will be at 8:17 p.m. For tomorrow, the latest forecast, cloudy skies once again with rain. Near gale will be blowing from the west, average velocity 35 knots or 47 on the Beaufort scale.
Winds at 4-7, near gale later on tonight as usual. And I don't know if you pick it up, but sunset's 8:17 in the evening, has been about 8:30. Due to the latitude south. I've never experienced that in the southern hemisphere before. It's like being in Scotland. Better make the best of the calm water in here, because they said when we exit out into the Pacific Ocean there'll be 6 to 8 metres swells.
Also there is right off the bow.
It's difficult to appreciate that when at the Bruggen Glacier the ship is parked close to the base of the Patagonian Ice Cap, which sits atop the Andes Mountains. As the crow flies, we're over 100 kilometres from the open sea. This is the track we took from the Bruggen Glacier. That big island is Isla Suarez. To get to Puerto Montt, we have to finally leave the fjords and enter the Pacific Ocean. The weather report was for large swells and high winds compared to the calm of the fjords. Actually, the night was not too bad. Our 90,000-ton ship rode the weather well, but you did have to hold on in the shower. We'll get one more dose of the fjords in sheltered water. The ship will enter the Gulf of Corcovado and run north to Puerto Montt. That's going to be about 450 kilometres of sheltered water. After that, we'll be on our own in the Pacific. You can find out how we get on in the next video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.